Welcome. I want you to go to twitch.tv/progmusiclover. Follow me. I'm going to be going live where we're going to do music composition, arrangement in Reaper. We're going to talk music theory, and we can talk about whatever anybody wants to in the chat. It's all there. So go to twitch.tv/progmusiclover. Follow me, and we'll have some fun. So let's talk about a free drum machine and what that entails. I know you're aware of certain plugins and apps like Superior, Get Good Drums, Easy Drummer, and those are amazing. And if you can afford to go down that path, please do. They all sound really good. I was in a bind a long time ago, like 2 years ago, and I said I don't want to pay for that. I want to try to figure this out on my own. So I downloaded like a free type program like Easy Drummer, and it had the little drum set, and this thing just sounded awful. I was making my demos and I said, wow, I never realized how specific an acoustic drum sound for the genre you're trying to play matters. I play metal, and I learned very quickly that if you don't have the right samples, even when you're doing a demo, it doesn't excite you. It doesn't make you feel like you're actually moving the speakers, you know, making it sound like the actual genre you're trying to play. So what I figured out is you can create your own sample library. So let's talk about that. So as you can see here, there's this website that I found called the Metal Kick Drum, and they had a free kicks. So you got 7 different kick drums, and you can listen to them in a mix and say, that one's cool, I don't like that one, whatever you want. They got snare drums, and they got they got different snare drums, they got some toms, and these are free. So, you know, if you download these, your samples are going to sound like mine, and maybe your song will be recognizable and say, hey, my song sounds kind of like that one because we're using the same samples. But these are free, they're specifically for metal, and they sound good. Okay, cymbals. So I found this a long time ago. Someone painstakingly went through the task of recording every single cymbal in their collection. So this person is amazing. They just recorded and recorded sample after sample after sample of their cymbal collection. So you come into this website here, and you can just click on the cymbal that sounds interesting to you, download it, and you've got the whole cymbal, the whole range of velocities of that same cymbal. Okay, so now let's go to Reaper and start getting things ready. So here I have my drum tracks right here. So as you can see, I've just been simple on this demo. I haven't gotten very detailed with my drum sound yet. I just wanted to get some beats going with my music so I could hear what it sounds like. Kick, snare, cymbal. This is what it sounds like on its own, just so you can hear what it sounds like as a drum kit, if you will. Okay, simple drum beat. So now let's talk about how you get this going. How do you start doing your own drum machine that has samples that you picked, that you found, and you feel confident will help you convey the genre you're trying to play, rather than just using some free sample that sounds like, I don't know, just not right for the music you're playing. So I made a MIDI item right here. Whoops, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the VST plugins, and once the window is open, you're going to find the VSTi plugin called Reasamplomatic 5000. I'm sure Cubase and other DAWs have a similar plugin to this, and I'm sure there exists a free plugin that is just dedicated to playing samples back, because that's all this is. It just plays the sample back. Okay, so I have all my samples in a folder. Okay, so drum samples, I got all my cymbals, kick drum samples. Okay, and I have all those samples on that free website. So I always pick the wave file, okay, and the numbers on the side are the different velocities. The highest number being the hardest hit, the highest velocity of that kick drum being played. So I always, with the kick drum, I always pick the highest one. Okay, I'm not going for like a medium kick drum sound. So let me talk to you about this button, the black button right here. When you click that button, it plays the sample back at you so you can hear it and say, oh, that's the one I wanted, or no, that's the wrong one. So what's cool is this menu next to the black button. When you click it, you can see the different velocities are right here, all of the same kick drum. So you can go through each one and press that black button and say, actually, that's the one I want. Now, this is way more important when it comes to cymbals. With the cymbals, that's when you want to double check and say, is this actually the velocity that I want? Because sometimes you pick like the highest velocity of the cymbal and it doesn't sound like you thought it was going to sound. It sounds too much, too intense. So that's really important for when you're doing the cymbals. Okay, so now I'm going to double click the MIDI item. As in this point in time, every single key is assigned to the kick drum. And we'll talk about why that's important in a second. Okay, so you can make the grid whatever you want, 16th notes, 8th notes, and you just start programming the drums. You might be familiar with this if you've ever used like a free version of Easy Drummer or a sample version. So there you go, that's the kick drum sound. So let's keep going. Now we're going to get a little bit more detailed with our drum sound. So you can see here I have 3 different Samplomatic plugins running on the same track, and there's 3 different cymbals. 2 of them are the same cymbal but different velocities. See how the transient is really big here and it's a lot smaller right here, different velocities. Okay, so these are the different sounds I've got going. And the way you can make this work is you assign which key on the piano roll has that specific sample. So you can see here number 48, C3 is going to be my first sample. C4, number 60, is going to be my second sample. C5, number 72, is my third sample. You can put the sample on any key you want. So I will let you explore what works for you in your workflow. Okay, so let's make a MIDI item and just program, whoops. We're going to program a little bit of a cymbal sound. And I'm just going to mess around to show you the three samples in action. So I have it set to quarter notes. Okay, so it's going to hit the first cymbal, second, third, da-da-da. And that's what I wanted to get at, is if you put different velocities of the same sample, you can create like a very detailed oscillation pattern between the velocities to get a more realistic drum sound. In this moment in time, I'm just making demos, and I hope someday a real drummer can record them, so I'm not going through the process of selecting the exact velocity for every single time the cymbal hits, but you could. So that's what's really awesome about doing this. It gives you that same flexibility that you would get by buying one of those more expensive programs. But hey, look, we're doing it here for free and it sounds good. So let's listen. Alright, so you can hear the different cymbals played in the playback of that part. So let's just get a taste of it within the mix. Alright, here we go. So that's what it's going to sound like when you have it in the mix. And I hope you have fun making your own drum machine, making your own sample library. It's always a journey. Okay, go to twitch.tv/progmusiclover. I want you to follow me there, and we're going to go live we're going to do live streams where we can do music composition, music theory. It's all through Reaper, so we'll be talking about this audio engineering, like tips and tricks. And we can also talk about whatever is on your mind. Thank you.